Welcome to the Soul Code, where we unlock the language of your soul, one number at a time. I'm your host, Kendra Levon, numerologist, artist, and creative coach, here to guide you on this sacred journey. Let's tune in and create from who you truly are. Okay, welcome back to the Soul Code, where we're going to explore the deeper meaning behind numerology and how numbers guide you towards manifesting your dreams. So I'm your host, Kendra Levon, and today we're going to dive into understanding how numerology helps manifest your dreams with clarity, confidence, and alignment. Okay. So before I get into talking about manifestation, I want to introduce myself some more. I want you to know a bit more about me. Okay, so I am, besides this, a numerologist, as I stated before in my first episode. I'm also an artist. I'm a visual artist. I'm a muralist, a mosaic artist. I'm a painter. I'm an art instructor. I'm a therapeutic art instructor. A stage designer, and I have my passion in the arts has always been based around teaching others, right? And also I've worked 13 years with seniors living with Alzheimer's and dementia using art as a form of therapy. And that has been my baby because I have seen miracles, and I know the power of art because I have seen how powerful it has shifted the lives of those living with dementia. So I continue to do that. That's still part of my work. I lived in Bermuda for 20 years. Now I'm in Costa Rica, been here 2 years doing the same thing, working on doing workshops, setting up training programs for seniors living with dementia and for caregivers. So that's been my career. And on the side, I have been a numerologist for, like I said, for 30 years. I've been studying it, maybe a little bit over 25 years as doing readings. And both of those things are extremely passionate. I'm extremely passionate about. And so that's why I incorporate art making into my podcast. Okay, so I wanted to share a bit more about that and also to let you know, like I said, this is my first time doing a podcast, my third episode. I want to be too authentic, and being authentic too is me evolving, learning how to do these podcasts, how to approach it in the realness that I am when I'm in front of people, So it's so different because I'm speaking on a recorder and I feel like I'm talking to myself, and I'd rather be speaking to a group of people face to face, but I'm doing this because this is the thing that people do now. And so, but it's been interesting. It's been an interesting learning curve. So thank you for just bearing with me as I evolve through this and I grow in this, because the reason I'm doing it is because it's important for me to get out this message, okay? We are in critical, crazy times, and we now need the tools to tap into our higher self. We now need the tools to be able to live out who we're here to be, because we're all here for a reason. We're all here at the right timing for our souls to evolve. And numerology is a tool for helping us to understand that. And so I want to share that information. I've seen people's lives changed from it. It's totally changed my life since I was in my early 20s. Like I said, it's been my guide to get me to where I have been able to do what I love so much. So I just want to be able to share this information with you guys. And there's so much to share because I will talk about the cosmology of numerology. I'll talk about the science of it because it's so fascinating. And when you understand how we live in a world that is energetic and the timing in which numerology is coming back, because it's an ancient and an old science, is so on point, and now is the time to tune in to understanding vibration and frequency, and you're understanding it through numbers. You understand because numbers are the representation of all those different frequencies and that we are experiencing and that the universe is made of. Okay, so I'm excited about this. Like I said, bear with me as I grow on this journey, and I'm gonna make it be as authentic, my authentic self as possible as I learn how to do this thing, okay, doing this podcast thing. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what is manifestation? Manifestation is about bringing your inner desire into reality through intention and being in alignment with that intention. And to do that, you must know you. Who are you really? What moves you? What is your dream? And not what other people think it is or think it should be. So when you can answer these questions, you can set goals and visions that are in alignment with who you really are. So first, before I go off into manifestation, if I haven't manifested the life I wanted, I can't talk about it or tell you how to do it, but I have. Like I said in the beginning of this episode, I have been so blessed that because I have set myself in alignment with who I really am and accepted my passion and what I really wanted to do, I aligned myself that way. And I've been able to live a life in the arts and be very successful within it for all these years. And I will tell you another, and it hasn't always been that way, just so I'm clear, it hasn't always, we're always learning, no matter what, it's always a learning process. But I tell you one thing that is a fun manifestation for me, and that is my manifesting beautiful places to live in. I used to have friends in Bermuda would say, how do you find the most beautiful places? And I'm like, I just do. Because you know what? At one point, and it hadn't always been that way, but there was a point when I accepted, literally consciously accepted, I love being in beautiful places. A beautiful environment is what makes me happy, is where I can thrive, right? So like I said, living in Bermuda, I've lived in many different cottages, different places, and even now in Costa Rica, I've had a couple of places, and they are all so beautiful. And I just attract beautiful places because I just accepted this is my journey, right? So that is my little, fun that I call my fun manifestation, that whenever I'm making a transition and I'm having to move, I'm like, okay, let's go see what this next amazing place is going to look like. So that's an example of manifestation and being in alignment with that, with who you are, because I'm in an alignment, the fact that beauty is important to me, right? So manifestation isn't just about positive thoughts or writing affirmations. It's about every day being the person that you are, like I said. Not the little person who's forgotten the greatness within them, but the big Christ self that knows the greatness that they are. At this moment, you may not be able to define who that person is because it's a creative process. That is what I'm here to do, to guide you through self-discovery. It's tools like numerology and creative thinking that helps us to remember who we really are. True manifestation is rooted in self-awareness, knowing your unique blueprint and how to work with it, not against it. Manifestation without self-awareness is like trying to grow a tropical plant in the desert. You can pour love into it, but the environment is not right. Numerology helps you understand your inner environment. Okay, so numerology reveals your core frequency, your life path, your expression, your soul urge, and personality. These essential numbers come from your birth date and the name you're giving at birth. They set the tone, your story, and what your journey looks like. Now, that is depending on if you use the higher frequency of those numbers or the lower frequencies of your numbers. No matter what, you're going to live out your numbers, your essential blueprint, your essence, your energy. The key is to raise your personal vibration to authenticity. Now, each number has its own vibration, its own strength, its blind spots. You have their weaknesses and their strengths. The secret is not to walk around blindly, but to be aware of all your different weaknesses and strength, and also your different challenges. Also to know what your karmic debt is, to know what you're here to learn, what you have to overcome, all those different things. So manifestation works best when you are in alignment with your soul's true nature, not someone else's or at someone else's pace. This is how we can manifest in harmony with what we desire. The one thing about numerology, though, is that you are accountable for yourself. And once you know, only you can choose to be in alignment. Okay, so let me give some examples of different life path energies. For instance, so a life path 1, they're born to lead, to initiate. Their manifestation power comes from bold actions. A life path 7, they more so need solitude and trust in divine timing. Manifestation comes from inner clarity and not external pushes. Your life path number tells you this. It's the what of what it is you're here to do. It's your purpose. Your expression, which comes from your name, tells you how. And your soul desire or your soul urge number tells you why. Okay? So when you know your numbers, you stop forcing outcomes and you start magnetizing opportunities that are meant for you. When you're in your right energy field, you attract the right opportunities. You're at the right place, you're at the right time, and you attract the right people in your life. I always say when we are attracting undesirable situations, we must look and see where we are out of sync with our energies, our numbers, our true energy, our true frequencies. Okay? And so I'm going to, in another episode, I'll explain to you I'll go over the whole, it takes quite a long time to explain how you get we've talked about life path number in the last episode, but how you get your expression number, which comes from all the letters in your name. So every letter has a frequency. So remember, numerology is about sound frequency. Everything has a sound and its own song, and you have your own song, okay? So I'm gonna give you an example. So the number 1, not number 1, the word number, Number. When you do the numerology reading on that, alignment with that word, you get the number 1. Interesting, huh? And then when you put an S at the end, you get the number 2. So anyways, that's just a little interesting thing of how numbers work and how they, in the same way as how they work in your name, right? So that'll be another episode where I'll talk about how to line up those, and you can do it on internet. There's different apps that'll actually show you, to tell you what your expression number is in your soul urge, and you can get those numbers. But I will love to do an example of how you actually calculate it, because I think those are things that are good to know. Okay, so let's talk about aligning goals with your numbers. Okay, so what is your dream? What is your goal, your vision? Look at your life path number Okay, which in lesson episode 2 about the meanings of your each life path, if you go look back and listen to that, you'll hear the different for 1 to 9, and also the master numbers. When you have a blueprint reading, you can see every aspect of yourself, and if your dreams are in alignment, and sometimes that takes some deprogramming, because some of us, are used to living outside of living out other people's expectations, or we compare our life to other people, and we want to live out this false reality that isn't even ours, because it's acceptable or it feels safe. Okay, so the thing you want to do is you want to get clarity. Okay, now a reading will give you total clarity, because there's no way in an episode I can even go over everything that's in a blueprint reading. It's a lot. And there's more numbers than just your core numbers. But I'm giving you something that can definitely give you a good start or a good foundation, and making sure that at least you are in alignment with your core energy. Okay? So what you want to do, step 1, is clarify your desires. Okay? Know exactly what it is that you want, right? And then ask, does that align with my life path, right? And then use your expression, which is your how, and your soul urge, which is your why number, to guide your strategy, to guide how you go and why you go about achieving this desire that you have. Okay, so let's also talk about timing. Your personal year and personal month and timing is in manifestation is very important. Okay, if things aren't going at the rate that you want, it's because it's not your right time. Each year has its own energy, and it's very important that you know what that energy is. Okay, so for instance, if you're in a 9 year, this is a time you need to just chill and release, let go of stuff. You're at the end of a cycle. You're going to be letting go. Things are going to try and get away from you that no longer belongs to you. And you're going to have to say, okay, I release these things. These are things you want to get rid of: old habits, old belief systems, and those kind of things. Okay, and it's not a time to start no new project in a year. Now, it won't happen, promise you. If it does, it'll be a grand opening and a grand closing really quick. Believe me. And so a 1 year is a fresh start. Now, 1 year is a time where you're starting, you feel like, you're at the beginning of a new cycle in your life. You're starting, to either redefine what you're doing or have been doing, or you're going to do something different, but it is new beginnings. Okay. And then, and all the other years, they have their own meaning as well. So what I want you to do is that you can actually grab your journal, okay, and write down what it is that you dream, what your dream is, and what you're looking towards doing or wanting to achieve. Okay, now ask, is it in alignment to what I am here to master? Okay, is it in alignment to what my soul purpose is here for? All right, and you can do that, like I said, go to episode 2 and you can figure out how to actually get your life path number. And let's see, in your personal year, you can do that by adding the day you were born, the month you were born, and this year. So 2025, you'll add that across, where your life path is adding the month, the day, and the year you were born. But I break it down in episode 2, so you'll know how to correctly do it for your personal year as well. Tips to manifest with numerology. Okay, use your life path as a compass for your goals. Okay, let your soul urge guide your emotional fulfillment, the why behind your dream. Let your expression number tell you how you will fulfill your dreams or your ideas. Okay, then there's timing and cycles that you are in, which you can get through a numerology reading. But you can at least get your year. That'll be one thing you can have, is that have the year down for yourself, so you at least know what you're working with in this year, okay, or what number you're working with. All right, so manifestation isn't magic. It's momentum aligned with your natural rhythm. Numerology helps you to stay in tune. As you begin to align with your numbers, manifestation feels less like chasing and more like allowing. Your dreams are sacred invitations, but they require you to be in tune with your truth, not someone else's formula. This week, pick one of your core numbers. I would suggest your life path, all right? And see how you can actually manifest your dreams by honoring who you are on a soul level. All right? Take one action, small or bold, from that place, and just see what happens, and see what you begin to flow with, what begins to feel good. Be in tune to how things begin to kind of change around you and how you see things around you. It's quite an amazing journey. So thank you for listening to The Soul Code. If today was an episode that really resonated with you, I'd love if you would subscribe or leave a review and share with a friend who you think could really use this information. And don't forget to check out any of the shows. Check out the notes to see if there's any free numerology resources or upcoming workshops, which I do give that in webinars on occasion. And if you're interested in a personal blueprint reading and an 80-page book just on you, visit my website at www.numerologywithkendra.com, or you can email me at numberswithkendra@gmail.com. So until next time, stay in alignment and trust the magic of your numbers. Peace, love, and creativity.